and road.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
There's going to be a lot of eyes on the Arkansas-Florida game this weekend, not only because it's on ESPN, primetime game, but because another SEC game has been postponed. That's now 4 as of this weekend. Add Georgia at Missouri to that list. And there's a lot of SEC fans that will be looking for something to do, something to watch. And, Tommy, I'm just going to guess just jumping out on a limb here that they are not going to watch Vanderbilt at Kentucky or South Carolina at Ole Miss. And they might watch a little bit, but I think the game that they're more likely going to watch is Arkansas at Florida if they're going to pick an extra game to watch. That list.
Pardon me for not knowing immediately without looking. Which one's the other one at 6? Or
South Carolina at Ole Miss. Okay. So I'm guessing the Arkansas-Florida
game because the other one's at 11, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing the Arkansas-Florida game will take precedent unless you are a Rebels fan or a Gamecocks fan.
So there's an SEC game at 11, and there's 2 at the same time in prime time. For me, I can't speak for everyone else. The Masters is going to take precedent in the middle of the day, and I'll have my 2 TVs going. I'll have college football on the secondary TV because I'm watching the Masters on the primary TV with the sound on a lot of the time, and then I'm gonna watch as much of that as I can, and then as long as it's interesting, and I can't imagine it not being, and but weather's going to have some effect on it as well. So now that's going to be today. I think by the weekend it's going to be great, but I'm with you. But by the evening time, there won't be golf. So you're right. All eyes will be on football. And about the time Arkansas and Florida get ready to play, golf's over. Everybody's ready for football. The steak's off the grill. The ribs are off the smoker, whatever the case may be. Hey, let's tee it up. What's the best game on TV? It's Arkansas-Florida.
It is.
And probably not just – for SEC fans, and we're looking at it, SEC. It's clearly the best SEC game. Nationally, it's probably one of the best games, too, at that time.
Wisconsin plays at Michigan. There's not a single top 25 matchup this week. So if you just look at it from that perspective, then you could probably that's a reasonable belief to have heading into this football game. And again, it's on ESPN.
And it's by default, but it is what it is.
I think Todd Blackledge, ESPN color analyst, is going to be joining us tomorrow. Really excited to talk with him about the expectations for this football game. And many of you know Arkansas's never won a game in the Swamp. Now you're going down, a man down, without your head football coach in Sam Pittman. We'll get to the comments that he had to say on the SEC teleconference yesterday about how, hey, listen, it's not all about me. These guys will be just fine. And we'll also get to some recruiting talk, as it is a Recruiting Thursday brought to you by Breeden RV this morning. They are having their last sale of the year right now, and despite everything going on, they're getting in new trailers weekly, and they're marked down as soon as they get to the lot. These are brands you know and that you can trust. Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products, and every new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Let's say you need to hibernate your trailer or your RV for the winter. They can do that too. Winterization specials are starting for just $99. Plus, they can work on all makes and all models. That is Breeden RV, the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. Tom Murphy at 7:20. Richard Davenport at 8:05. We'll get a chance to talk to both those guys over at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. But back to the Arkansas-Florida thing for the time being, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of people that maybe have not watched Arkansas so far. They've heard about, they've seen college football writers like a Dennis Dodd, like a Stuart Mandel that we had on yesterday, like a Pat Forty, like Kurt Herbstreit, who is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, college football analyst out there, saying, man, this team's really rallying around Sam Pittman. Now you're 3-3. You've yet to really win the marquee game of this season. You beat Mississippi State when they were ranked. You lost to Auburn when they were ranked. If you want to say Mississippi State, I'm not gonna hold that against you, but like they've only won 2.
It doesn't hold water.
They've only,
now.
yeah, it has. They've only won 1 game since then. So now
they were ranked because they beat an LSU team people thought were good.
Exactly. So now, Tommy, you have
not good.
Now you have an opportunity again Saturday night in the Swamp, a place you've never won, to really put on display who you are as a football program and how far you've come under Sam Pittman since the Chad Morris days, which, again, was fired a year ago yesterday.
I mean, and honestly, not to be negative Nancy, but Arkansas needs to do something that really carries some weight. So far, you're an okay football team. You don't have a great win. I don't even know that you have a really good win. You have some okay wins. You need to go get a good win. And this would be a great win. This would qualify more than that. You don't really have a good win this year. You have some okay wins. You need to go get some wins that really turn the corner for your program. This would be that and then some, because it's a top 10 win. It's on the road. It's against a team that's going to likely win a division, or it's in a position to do that. You could help spoil some of that, But this is a team that's in a position to be in the college football playoff. So this would check all the boxes. There would be no question whether or not you've beaten a quality team if you could come out of the swamp, if you could drain the swamp and leave there with a win, something no Razorback team has ever done before. As you talked about the historical perspective, we went through all of the teams you've played. You've only played the Gators one time ever since they joined the SEC where they weren't ranked. And, again, you're playing them as a top 10 team, number 6 in the country. You're up against it. But what's new when you play Florida?
And to your historical context that you were mentioning, 9 out of the 10 times, as you mentioned, the only time that you were ranked and they weren't ranked was 2003 when you lost with Chris Leak and the Tony Buahead and stuff.
The one you absolutely should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look at the other times, Arkansas's been only ranked 3 times. That was one of the times, and you've had 2 other times in the SEC championship and 90 and 95 in the other SEC championship.
You were 23 and they were 2.
Mm-hmm. So those are the only times that the Razorbacks have been ranked by taking on the Gators. And you think about some of the quarterbacks that you've had to go up against over the years, Chris Leak being one, Tim Tebow being one. Who's the 95 quarterback?
I can't tell you who theirs was. Barry Lunny Jr. was our quarterback. Monterey Hill was our running back. I'd have to look up who they're. I can't remember. I think it was 30. Let me look up. 35-7 maybe was the final, if I remember right. I got it right here. But I remember watching that game and being so disappointed. Then Arkansas got the CarQuest Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was just like a disaster. But see, 34-3.
34-3.
34-3. Yeah, in Atlanta.
What it boils down to is you have not fared well against the Florida Gators, and once again, you're playing a superb quarterback in Kyle Trask, but you have a guy with a chip on his shoulder, Felipe Franks, and we'll unpack this a little more, especially tomorrow with Clay Henry when he joins us at 7 o'clock, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated. You have a guy that doesn't necessarily have a vendetta against the Florida Gators, but is going to be super charged up. Now, this is going to go one or two ways on Saturday night. Felipe is going to play like he has on the road this season, really, really good, or he's going to be completely overcharged.
Some guy named Danny Werfel. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He was the quarterback.
I wanted to say him or it was Chris. Am I thinking Chris Winkie or see Florida State?
He was Florida State.
Okay. I was like going back and forth, and I couldn't remember which one because I knew they were both 90 quarterbacks. And Werfel won the Heisman that year, didn't he?
Werfel, yeah. I believe.
Okay.
I don't know if it was that year, but then I think in Destin, there's Danny Werfel Way in Destin as you come over the bridge. So I remember right on my last trip to Destin.
So another great quarterback. So you've gone against Werfel, Leak, Tebow, and now Kyle Trask, who's a top 5 Heisman candidate at this point in time. 22 passing touchdowns on the year. Now it's still up in the air if he has his guy Kyle Pitts for that is probably the most pivotal piece of information that we have not gotten yet. Will Kyle Pitts play on Saturday? The number 1 tight end in college football. Who knows? A lot more coming up on a Recruiting Thursday.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir!
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Wave Rural Connect is open ordering for our zone covering parts of Pecola, Fort Coffee, and Spiro. Get amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month, TV starting at $32.95, and fiber phone at $29.95. Sign up is underway. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or check online at signup.waveruralconnect.com and find out too about how you could win a free year of internet. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has several new items they've added to the menu. Stop by Art's and try something new, like the El Diablo Burger, a spicy pork patty with grilled jalapenos, hot barbecue sauce, and pepper jack cheese on Texas toast, or the all-new smoked Philly beef sandwich, or the patty melt, and backed by popular demand, the 14-ounce smoked ribeye. Plus, Art's can handle all your game day home gating or tailgating menus. Try something new at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Green RV and Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Double pass. Yes, it is. Cedric Washington fires it in the end zone. Felix Jones backs up. Touchdown, Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
We'll get back into football in just a sec on a Recruiting Thursday brought to you by Breeden RV. But I do want to talk about the Masters at several points this morning. Not too far away from tea time, Tommy. And I know that a lot of people listening to the program here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our social media outlets will not be working hard today because their eyes will be locked on the ESPN app for the majority of the day.
Yeah, and the Masters app, keeping up with that. Also keeping up with the weather because the weather's going to have an effect on the Masters and how the golf continues there as that hurricane/tropical storm blows through that part of the country. So that is also going to have an effect on the golf these first rounds or two. So we will keep an eye on that throughout the morning. Burton Pools and Spas has hot spring spas and 28 different models for you to choose from. Make it part of your day-to-day routine. If you've always wanted a hot spring spa, there's a great reason to choose a hot spring spa over maybe a bargain basement brand, a lower price. Number one, they're more energy efficient. They're better constructed. You'll feel the difference not only in the quality when you just look at them for yourself, but you'll see the difference in your electric bill as well because hot spring spas are just built better, so they're more energy efficient. Plus, they have all the latest features, including saltwater models that you can choose from as well. You'll get a better night's sleep because you'll ease muscle pain, reduce stress. That's one of a few of the great reasons to choose a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, stop in their showroom floors in Springdale or in Fort Smith, 0 Street in Fort Smith, just off the I-49 412 exit in Springdale, or look online at burtonpools.com. It's hot spring spas. It's hot tub season right now from Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
When you think about the Masters, there's just so much elegance surrounding it. What's your favorite part of the Masters? 877-377-6963. Go on the phone lines, welcoming in Ryan in Hot Springs. Ryan, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
I'll say this: I'm not a big. I like to golf. I've golfed myself a little bit, not very good, but I will say this: the Masters is probably the one golfing event that I make sure to watch. I will say this: that scenery down through there is second to none.
Incredible.
Man, but I was gonna say I guess the weather has checked out for them not to have to move the game to Arkansas. I saw some stuff online yesterday where they were kind of hoping to, where the hurricane was possibly going through, they might move it to Fayetteville. I guess that's done checked out where that won't happen.
Yeah, the weather projections a couple of days ago, their AD Scott Strickland said everything should be moved through the area by today, early tomorrow, and no indication at all that by Saturday there should be any problem at all playing the game in Gainesville. So everything's going to go on as scheduled. So
that's good. I'm glad to hear that. My Saturday's going to be kind of interesting because I've told this on a couple other shows, but Saturday morning will be deer hunting first, and then 1 o'clock I got a baby shower to go to. No, y'all laugh, but it's my baby shower.
Well, then you have to be there. You have no choice then.
I do not, and it's my aunt that's pretty much like my mom that's putting it on. So so that won't be. So the Masters will be on for that, and then when the game comes on. But she seems to think that we won't be watching the game, but little does she know.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, is the gender reveal on Saturday, or have y'all already? Do you guys already know?
No. Yeah, it's a little girl.
Okay. All right. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's my first one, so this will be interesting.
Stepping up the big leagues.
Right. So, what do y'all think the chances are that the Hogs kind of get back to hog football and pulling out one that we ain't supposed to win?
You know, I've thought about this a lot this week, Ryan, and I think when you look at this football game, you remember when Matt Corral and everyone was just like, oh, my goodness, Arkansas has no chance against this passing attack. You know what's really contingent upon if Brian Johnson and Dan Mullen want to run the football. Now, this has been a prolific passing team this year. Trask has, it's either 22 or 24 touchdowns. Might be 24. I said 22 earlier. But if they get into pass-happy mode against Barry Odom and this zone defense, I think that's going to favor Arkansas, man. Kyle Trask is playing like a Heisman-level quarterback. He's top 5 in most of the rankings that I've seen. But I think it's really going to be on the at the feet of what Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, former Utah quarterback, and Dan Mullen decide to do with Florida's offense. Because if you get pass-happy, I think that's going to favor Arkansas, man.
I was about to say, I do think this will be the at least defensively, this will be the best secondary that he's played this year so far.
Yeah, and I would say Georgia last week, they didn't have their guys. That's not the Arkansas-Georgia matchup that you saw in week number 1.
Right.
LeCount had that motorcycle wreck. There was 2 other guys that were starters that were out. That was nowhere near the defense that Arkansas had to play in week number 1. Plus, they had some an ejection or 2. I think that Lewis Singh got ejected. So, and plus, they're going to overlook Arkansas. They just came off their biggest win of the Dan Mullen era. Ryan, you can't tell me that there isn't going to be a little bit of a letdown when they face a Razorbacks team that has a perception, at least over the years, of not being an SEC quality football team. But little do they know, Hogs are going to be ready to play on Saturday night.
Hey, last point, and I'll let y'all go. I do hope y'all would know I was mostly kidding about the flopping. I'm just aggravated with it. That's all, So, hope y'all have a good day, and I will talk to y'all later.
Yeah, that. The air quotes fake injuries, yeah. I don't know what you do about that, but I hear you.
It's tough to do anything. And Ryan, best of luck again this weekend with your baby shower with your little baby girl on the way. That's an awesome experience, man. One that I am far off from.
You want to keep it that way for a while. Just be thankful that it's for a lot of hunters this weekend. Very thankful this is a 6 p.m. game. And not a 11 a.m. game.
Like next weekend.
This was at least this is opening weekend. This is the big one. Now they're going to hunt into early December, and that first weekend's the last weekend. But this is the big hunting weekend. This is the one everyone's geared up for. There will be more people in the woods this week. Hundreds of thousands of Arkansans will be on a tree stand this weekend in a deer blind on the ground, somewhere hunting and sharing that family experience in a lot of cases. This is the big one. Boy, an 11 a.m. game, I'm going to tell you, Ty, they'd choose deer hunting over watching the football game. That's just, they'd have the earbuds in, they'd be listening online, they'd be listening on the radio. That's the way it'd be.
I know my brother and a couple of his buddies are going up to my grandmother's farm in Hattieville, Arkansas this weekend hunting. I know he is excited as it gets to go do that this weekend.
Hey, we were excited to talk to Brett Good yesterday. He joins us every Wednesday on the show, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion. He's now part of the winning team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. If you're the person in charge of employee benefits, health insurance, and staffing management solutions, he can help you with all of those things. Or if you just need to talk with someone about commercial or personal insurance, he can help you with those things as well, whether it's auto insurance, homeowners insurance, or for your business, you need workman's comp or just commercial insurance needs. He handles all of those things for you. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292, River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or anywhere else. It's Brett Good, 651-2292 for Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
Coming up, getting some quick headlines. I also want to talk about what Eric Musselman had to say about Sam Pittman yesterday.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkra Furniture at 405 Fort Street in Barling is your made in the USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made in the USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mallett steps up, heaves it right. He's got a man open. It's caught for Arkansas. It's Greg Child. Touchdown. It is a touchdown.
Yep. Wow.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
A lot of you were wondering, hey, what's going to work with the logistics Saturday night in Gainesville? Where is Barry Odom going to be? What is everything going to look like? Well, we get in that coming up here on the Morning Rush as our buddy Tom Murphy asked Sam that during the SEC teleconference yesterday. And we'll also talk with Richard Davenport coming up at 8:05 as it is a Recruiting Thursday brought to you by Breeden RV. They are having their last sale of the year right now, and despite everything going on, they're still getting in new trailers weekly, and as soon as they hit the lot, they're getting marked down. And every new purchase at Breeden RV comes with free maintenance for life. That's value. That's customer service you're not going to find anywhere else. Let's say you're not going to have time this winter to do anything with your RV or trailer. Well, you can bring them into Breeden RV and place them there for winterization special starting at just $99. They're going to work on all makes and models, and they are going to do a fantastic job. Ransom and his group always do. So go check out the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Some people just don't enjoy the winter camping, and I don't blame them. If my wife is one of those that she does not enjoy the cold temperatures.
She's not a fan of that.
If she said, let's take the camper, let's take the fifth wheel, let's head to the beach in Florida, that'd be one thing. But she is not a fan of the cold temperatures. So I get where some people would want to winterize, and hey, I'll see you next spring and summer. So that's their favorite times of the year. Absolutely.
I completely understand that. All right, first quickie headline. Like I mentioned, many of you have asked, hey, what's going to happen with the outlook on the defensive coordinator, who's going to be up in the box or whatever. Barry Odom has been in the box all season long, and based on what we've seen, it's worked wonders for the Arkansas defense. He's coming down, so he's going to take over again for Sam Pittman this weekend as the interim head coach. And I thought it was interesting listening to Sam on the teleconference yesterday talk about just what he means to the football team, and he's always going to place the what's the word I'm looking for? Place the adulation and credit.
Give the credit.
He's going to give the credit to the players and his staff, which as an Arkansas fan, you should really appreciate having a humble guy up there coaching your football team. Here is what Sam had to say about Barry Odom, and here's what he had to say about the confidence that he has in Arkansas's defensive coordinator.
It's going to be such an easy transition for us because, Barry's been there. Obviously, they played Florida, so him and Coach Mullen have a relationship, and, they played him 4 years in a row there that Barry was the head coach. So, I'm not going to make a big deal out of me not being there. I'm just going to be disappointed that I'm not. But Barry will handle it along with the staff, and the kids will play well, I'm sure.
And I think that just goes to show you that he has confidence in his kids. He has confidence in Barry Odom to get it done tomorrow, or soon. I'm already jumping ship. Get it done on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think the logistics are interesting. I don't know. I mean, you may know, but I don't think we know. Who is Barry communicating with? Who is Coach Odom normally communicating with in the headset on the field? Who are his eyes connected to through his voice? Is that the person you switch with? Who goes upstairs? Who are now your eyes upstairs if you're Barry Odom? Because that's what you got to trust is who you're putting up there to now be your eyes, to see what's going on with the opposing offense, and then also see what your defense is doing. Hey, is this guy shading inside too far on the offense, on the defensive line? Is this guy, 2 steps too far to the outside in the secondary? All those little things that the untrained eye probably aren't picking up on, but hey, just aligning a foot too far to the left or too far to the right, and particularly on that defensive line, being in the wrong technique, it can be the difference in first down or third down.
The slightest difference. So for the offense, that's John Cooper, your tight ends coach, and I'm wondering, like Tommy's that, is it Ryan Rhodes, it's Sam Carter, or is it Derek LeBlanc who's going to be up there in the box communicating with it? Because I doubt they throw a GA up there.
Well, my guess is, and this is just me guessing, whoever he communicates a lot with on the sideline up to this point would be the person he would switch with, because they're used to the communication process during the game.
It's just switching it, basically.
Pure guess on my part, though. I don't have.
I don't know either, but
if you got a better guess, I'm all ears.
That's an educated guess that I would go to and say that's probably correct. So Ross B. York, Texas A&M athletic director, kind of spilled the beans yesterday that they have added the December 19th weekend as a playing date. Now, as we brought up earlier this week, they had talked about it, but now they have confirmed it. That is the same day as the SEC Championship, which for the first time is going to be played at night, 7 o'clock. One of the reasons they did that is so they could add this to work with. So now they have 6 Saturdays remaining that they can work with. Again, 4 SEC games postponed this weekend, including the latest one between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Missouri Tigers.
So Arkansas has 6 weekends to play 4 games, and it looks like at this point you're gonna get your game in this weekend. So get some flexibility to get your remaining games in at this point, and you don't want to lose one of them home games. That's the thing none of these schools want to do at this point. So that's really the angle you're playing here.
And I'm really excited for next weekend. Obviously, is one of your favorite home games of the year when you take on the LSU Tigers. But LSU had a game canceled this weekend. We'll see what that outlook looks like in Baton Rouge as we continue to talk about that moving forward.
So you get Florida behind you, who's probably going to be in the SEC championship game. That's kind of critical that you get this weekend off with no issues. The only other problem is if you missed the real problem would be if Arkansas missed the Alabama game at the end of the year, because unless you could play them on the 12th and just move that back a week, and who knows what's going to happen between now and then, you're not going to play them on the 19th. You could stand to lose that game. So obviously the LSU game being played next weekend would be critical. So those are the two games you're really keeping a close eye on if you're Hunter Yurachek and you're the staff up there trying to make sure that, hey, we get these home games in, and you're counting the beans, so to speak.
Let's switch it up to basketball. The red-white game is tonight. It is going to be on the SEC Network Plus, 7 o'clock. I know many of you have been asking about that. Arkansas signed their 2 guys in the 2021 class yesterday. Early national signing period began. That is AK. I'm just going to call him AK because that's what Musk called him. I'm going to Cole Moeen. That's the best tip I can tan. Yeah. And then Chance Moore, who's your highest-rated guy. Moeen is the number 1 JUCO power forward rated by 24/7 Sports, number 4 JUCO player that they have listed. And then Chance is a top 85 guy in the 2021 class out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Really excited about both these guys and what they can be in the Eric Musselman system.
Well, Moeen's got a really interesting background, born in Sudan, Australia, part of the background, Southwest, so a lot of interesting background there. I'm assuming David Patrick had a lot to do with his recruitment with the Australian tie.
He was committed to UC Riverside where Patrick was at, and then obviously Patrick comes over here.
So that you can already see his tie to this staff already paying off there with some dividends. So obviously, the recruiting continues to grow, and I'm looking forward to having conversation with Richard coming up in our third hour about this signing day. So.
Yeah, and excited to see the Arkansas red-white game tonight. This is the first kind of glimpse. You saw a little bit of the open practice if you watched it on Facebook Live, but this is the first glimpse that you'll get to see a very competitive game. They've been doing this COVID Cup type thing, competing not all off season, but recently. I don't think Muss has a solidified starting lineup yet. I think he probably knows 3 or 4 of the guys, but he's probably waiting on 1 or 2 of them just to make their statement. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be made tonight, but it is going to be made in these next 2 weeks prior to their first game, November the 25th.
Yeah, hoping we can get a chat with him here on the show soon. I'm really concerned about college basketball this year. In football, you've got 85 guys, and you got to have 53 to go. In basketball, you got 15 guys. How many do you need to go? Because you get one guy that tests positive, and then the contact tracing takes over, you could easily wipe out half a team that quick. And what's going to be the minimum standard to go? Is it 7 players, 6 players? Is it 8 players? In football, you say, well, you got to have X number of linemen, you got to have a quarterback, you got to have this many defensive linemen. Is there going to be a standard in basketball? You're not going to start a game with 5. So, how's that going to work? With it's the contact tracing that just wipes you out so quick. And in basketball, with much smaller rosters, I can see the problems becoming, that snowball's going to go downhill much faster, I'm afraid.
You remember how we were deliberating and debating if there was too many guys that were on the team, and you were like, man, I don't know if they can find minutes for all these guys. Well, with COVID now occurring, that's not necessarily a conversation we're having. It's actually kind of nice for Eric Musselman that this is probably one of the deepest, if not the deepest, roster he's ever had because of the COVID stuff going on. So something to think about as we get closer and closer to basketball season.
Yeah, I just hope it's not going to be just obviously an Arkansas problem. I am holding my breath about college basketball this year. I just think there's going to be a lot of issues till we get this hopeful vaccine figured out. If it's truly 90% effective, how they're going to distribute. There's just so many questions about that are yet unasked and unanswered. And will that be a part of? Will it be in time to help maybe administrate college basketball a little smoother? Listen, the vaccine's priority is not college basketball, but that might be a factor in it this year. But you just look at it from a pure number standpoint, and when you got a fraction of a roster compared to a football team, I worry about that.
Speaking of Arkansas basketball, Kendrick Perkins was on ESPN yesterday, former Boston Celtic, former Oklahoma City Thunder member, and was advocating for the Philadelphia 76ers to draft Mason Jones at 21 overall. Now, we talked about how Mason's really shown out in the NBA Combine stuff, but this was really the first big-time NBA analyst that I've seen kind of go out on a limb and step foot for Mason. And I was really excited to see that because, I mean, Kendrick's on Get Up. He's on a number of NBA Countdown. He's on a number of different NBA shows. And when he says something like that, that doesn't necessarily mean the NBA teams are going to be like, oh, we got to do what Kendrick's saying. But it is cool to see Mason get some of the spotlight based on how he really had a productive season in 2020.
I'm still amazed at that 98 out of 100 on the free throws.
I cannot hit that.
Oh, I don't think how many people could. That's just still amazing. I still wonder what happened on the 2. How did the 2 not go in? But 21 overall would be way ahead of schedule compared to most people's projections.
Last headline for you. John Daly Jr. inked with the Razorbacks yesterday, and I know a lot of people were really excited about that. You got another legacy up there on the U of A. John Daly Sr. was pumped about that as well, to see his son sign with the Arkansas Razorbacks, and you got to play this song, Hit It Hard.
The best. This old road's been a hell of a test. I'm still driving. I ain't slowing down. There's rules I love to break.
I don't think he's going to be at Hooters this weekend at the Masters. I don't think he's going to be there.
You're not pulling the bus down or driving the bus down there?
I don't believe he's going to be down there. I could be wrong.
So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living long.
So I'm really excited to see his son up at the U of A, see what he can do.
Was there ever a doubt where his son was going to play college golf? I mean,
I don't think so.
Seriously. I mean, this is the least surprising thing that happened in regards to early signing day and in recruiting is John Daly's son signing to play golf at Arkansas. But probably the more surprising fact you laid on us is he's not going to be at the Hooters in Augusta, Georgia.
I don't think so.
Well, that makes sense because there's not going to be patrons on the course. There's not going to be fans in and around Augusta in mass. So he goes down there to sell his loudmouth golf apparel and his golf stuff. So who would you sell it to? He's not down there just to eat wings. You know, it's a business reason he's there.
Where does he live? Do you know?
I do not know. I mean, he used to live in Dardanelle, and he may still live in Dardanelle, but I do not know. By fact, I'm sure he still has his home in Dardanelle. The golf course that he operated there, was it the Lion's Den or whatever it was, Lions something. It is no longer in operations, my understanding. But
so where are they going to have the John Daly Classic now?
Well, you could have it at Chamberlain. That's a great golf course.
Is that in Dardanelle too?
Danville. Just outside of Danville.
Little John's.
Yeah.
So, but it was really cool to see that yesterday.
Not very far away.
So that's going to do it for your quick hitting headlines here on the Morning Rush.
Yep.
Next thing I want to get into is what Eric Musselman, as you heard at the top of our open, had to say about Sam Pittman yesterday.
All right, quick hitting headlines are brought to you by River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. Had River City Bistro last night. That's where the family wanted to go. Always love going to River City. This is the time of the year I start trying to find my favorite soup spots because I'm it's basketball, so I got to kind of start watching it. Need to trim it back a little bit, and I'm going to tell you the soups and the salad at River City Bistro. This is a great spot for that chicken noodle soup, and you can taste the difference in the soups when something's out of a can and when it's homemade. And you could tell the quality of the homemade chicken noodle soup last night at River City Bistro. Had a nice little small side salad to go with it. It was awesome. Kids love it because they can get I got a daughter that loves their BLT with the homemade chips. And my son loves the grilled cheese with the sweet potato fries. And they put this little caramel, honey, something dipping sauce that goes with the sweet potato fries. And then the wife, Laura, she loves the chicken salad on the little bagel crisp. So it makes a great middle-of-the-week call-in order Last night the kids had gymnastics and martial arts. So, I mean, we're running around like crazy, like everybody's doing this time of the year with, volleyball and basketball practice and everything else going on. And, so you need a place you can call in and get stuff to go. They do that for you at River City Bistro. So whether it's soups and salads, whether it's sandwiches, whether it's their specialty deli sandwiches, or whether you want to just call ahead and dine in, they got the outside dining. I noticed last night when I was picking up, they got all of the patio heaters out there too. So if you want to sit outside and it starts to get a little cool, they can keep you comfortable out there as well. Great locally owned restaurant. It's River City Bistro. Online at rcbistro.com. And again, stop in and see them, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. You will not regret it.
I want to remind everyone, if you want to watch coaches or players' press conference, make sure you do so at hitthatline.com and our YouTube page at hitthatline. Andy Hodges does a fantastic job getting all those videos up there. We got a chance to talk with Eric Musselman yesterday in a little before the red-white game tonight, and he touched on a number of different basketball topics. He's excited about AK, Chance Moore tonight, just the atmosphere that he thinks the students are going to provide. But what about the atmosphere that they won't have in Bud Walton this season? Only 4,000 fans, which is kind of a disappointment because he knows that there might be a Kentucky-type atmosphere this year if this team's as good as many of us think it's going to be. How is that going to change his coaching? Well, it's not. If you have a competitive nature, it doesn't matter how many people you're playing in front of. And what he pointed to, y'all, is what he's seeing right in front of him every Saturday in Sam Pittman.
If you really love to compete, I don't think it really matters. I think Coach Pittman's team's a great example of that. I mean, to me, they look like a team that's playing in front of a sold-out stadium every night because of their intensity, because of their will to win. They have blinders on to what's going on outside of the football field, and certainly we have to have the same mentality both home and road.
So my beef yesterday, Tommy, was the fact that Jalen Catalon, Grant Morgan, Bumper Pool, Traylon Burks, Felipe Franks are playing so rock solid this season, are helping this team get out of the grave that many thought that it was a part of, and they're not going to get to experience the full potential of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Well, the same can be said about this basketball team. You got 4 true freshmen, Jalen Williams, Moses Moody, K.K. Robinson, and Devontae Davis, who attended games last year, who are part of these incredible atmospheres. And in their year number 1, assuming that we still have kind of the same protocol stuff with COVID in the next couple months, they, unfortunately, like the football team, won't get to experience the full potential and the full atmosphere of Bud Walton Arena. But as Muss said, you just got to go out and win and take it as it comes.
There's going to be some interesting side effects of this. You're going to hear a lot of things that coaches and players say in the course of competition you don't normally hear because of larger crowds and things that just blend into the normal noise level of 12, 15, 18,000 people that are in there depending on the night. So there are going to be things that a coach like Musselman hollers out at an official, at a player, at a assistant coach, at a whoever, that you normally don't get heard, that normally is not within earshot of what you hear, that is going to be heard. That's going to be an interesting added element, something coaches are going to have to be aware of, something players are going to have to be aware of. That's going to be, to me, an added element that might come into play a little bit this year. So
we get to hear what Muss says when he gets a tech?
Perhaps, that's something I think coaches are, I think even as they just coach their players, because as you're yelling and screaming and doing your normal thing, it's just not going to be as concealed as it normally would in a normal timeout. So I think that is going to be an interesting thing depending on where you're sitting. You may be privy to more of the conversation this year.
You're not asking Eric Musselman to tone it down, are you?
No, I'm just telling you what the actual – I'm just saying that's something I'm sure he's already had conversations with his staff and is going to be a little more aware of. That's true home or road this year. You talk about the crowd being lost. The flip side of that is you don't have to go into a packed-out house at Tennessee, a packed-out house at Rupp Arena when you go to Kentucky. You don't have to go into some of these road environments that might be a little more imposing. So for a younger team, maybe a team with a few more freshmen playing, which Arkansas is going to have a few of those, some of those daunting road environments aren't going to be maybe as tough as they would normally be.
And I thought about why Felipe has played so much better on the road this year than at home. And I think part of that is because these SEC atmospheres that you're so used to seeing with 80, 90, sometimes 100+ thousand fans, he doesn't have to deal with that as the opposing quarterback. Now, there was a good chunk of them at Kyle Field, but I look at what he's done this season on the road against Auburn, against Texas A&M, and has played pretty well. Now, I wondered, like you're talking about with some of these young players, which blood bank guarantee Moses Moody is going to start. There's no doubt in my mind you will see him, unless there's an injury, he will start in game one. Now, the question is, and the other freshmen, between KK, Devontae, and Jalen, how much time they're going to get this season and how they react. But like you're saying, there's not 21,000 in Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. There's not 22,000 in Rupp Arena when they go down to Lexington. They're not going to have to deal with those screaming fans. Now, what is that? The math on that's like 5,500 or 6,000 or whatever it may. They're going to be loud, but it's not the same than walking into a packed house on an SEC Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday night.
Right. So, and you talk about why is Felipe Franks playing better on the road than he is at home. I think some of that's A, who you're playing, and I think B, some of that is you get on the road, you get in the hotel, you get in your meeting rooms, you get rid of a lot of distractions that come along with playing at home, or at least that have come along with playing at home in the past. It's just us against the world mentality when you go on the road. And I think that it's easier to circle the wagons, to narrow the focus, and I think even with basketball that's true. Once you get on that plane, it's easier to block out everything that goes on. The guys don't go back to their rooms, don't go back to their apartments, don't go back to their duplex. You've got them to yourself, and you can channel that focus. I think this year it might be, playing on the road's not still a challenge, but it's not going to be as big a challenge this year.
I don't think there's any arguments there. I still think it's easier to play at home, right? You're not saying that.
No, I'm just saying when you go on the road, there are some elements there we don't factor in, and that's the fact that the coaches are able to narrow the focus just because you've got your hands on them the whole way. You control their schedule and their time, and when they're meeting and all of those things. So you can create an us against the world mentality, and I think that there is some reasoning behind that with way maybe you could say why has Franks played better in certain spots than other spots.
I hope they have that on Saturday night heading into Gainesville when they take on the Florida Gators in the Swamp. And the question I have that I've asked a little bit this morning is, what type of game are you going to see from your veteran quarterback on Saturday night? This is the game that he has to play out of his night. He has to have a better performance on Saturday night than his 4-touchdown performance against Georgia if Arkansas is going to win this football game.
All right, Recruiting Thursday will roll on. Tom Murphy coming up, Richard Davenport in Hour 3 on the program. We are brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. They are celebrating 25 years in business. We're going to be there next Thursday to help them with the celebration. We'll be telling you more about that. If you sign up for DISH with a Hopper 3 system right now, you get a Google Hub. That's a $100 value plus a $100 Visa gift card when you sign up with World of Wireless right now for DISH service with the Hopper 3 system. Call 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Hour number 2 on the way. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan? It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,750 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny to partly cloudy sky today. Our high this afternoon will be right around 65 degrees. A decrease in the clouds tonight. An overnight low mid-30s north, mid-40s south. Friday back to sunshine, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Your new home for the Kansas City Chiefs, ESPN 95.3. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
If you really love to compete, I don't think it really matters. I think Coach Pittman's team's a great example of that. I mean, to me, they look like a team that's playing in front of a sold-out stadium every night because of their intensity, because of their will to win. They have blinders on to what's going on outside of the football field, and certainly we have to have the same mentality both home and road.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 2 of The Morning Rush. Tom Murphy set to join us in about 20 minutes at the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. And then we will talk recruiting with Richard Davenport coming up at 8:05 as it is a Recruiting Thursday, brought to you by Breeden RV. They're having their last sale of the year right now, and despite everything going on, they're still getting in new trailers weekly, new RVs weekly. These are brands you know and brands that you trust. Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, Coachman, and so many more. Your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life at Breeden RV. And let's say you don't get a chance to go off in the winter, or you just don't like camping in the winter, then they can take advantage of that too with hibernization specials, winterization specials starting at just $99. They're going to work on all makes and models for you. Plus, all accessories are installed free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
I'm ready for a hibernization special. What can they do for me? I'm ready to hibernate for a while.
Yeah, football season is taking its toll. It's on its all. Only 4 games remaining, and then we'll subside a little bit.
I want to wait till about 4 o'clock Thanksgiving afternoon, though. I don't want to miss Thanksgiving, but then about then, whatever you got to give me to hibernate till about Christmas.
Just sleep. So that's I don't even. I'm trying to picture what our dinner's going to look like and how much food I'm going to eat, and I'm just ecstatic for that. And I told you the other day we ordered a Arch Barbecue Cajun fried turkey, which my dad is ecstatic to gorge into, and that sucker's going to be huge. It's going to be tender. It's going to be juicy, and I'm just thrilled to have that. Me and Rita up here at ESPN Arkansas were eating Arch yesterday, and I told Morgan and I told Wade, I was like, man, I'm excited for this turkey. I'm excited
Cajun
for this turkey.
and fried.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's the go-to. But enough turkey talk this morning. Let's talk some football. 877-377-6963. When Arkansas goes down to Gainesville, Florida tomorrow, and then they play Saturday night, I got to tell you something. This is going to go one of 2 ways for Felipe Franks. He's going to play like he has on the road against Texas A&M and against Auburn. Best game of the season for him was against Auburn. 4 touchdowns, looked great in that second half. Or he's going to play really bad. It's not going to be in the middle. He is going to be super charged up for this football game, and I don't care what he says publicly. I don't care what he says privately. This game means a lot to him. And I know he said the task at hand is beating the Florida Gators. It's not just another game or whatever. All that is coach speak. He wants to win this football game. He wants to beat Dan Mullen. He wants to beat Kyle Trask, who, by the way, is now getting all this applause. He's getting all this lore. Oh, Heisman candidate. This is the next great Florida quarterback. Felipe was booed in his own stadium, y'all. To say that doesn't affect someone is just a gross miscalculation. So this is, again, going to go one of 2 ways. He is either going to dominate and have a great performance on Saturday night against a lackluster Florida defense. This is not the same Todd Grantham defense that we've seen in years past, even though he's going to give respect, or he's not going to have a good game.
You may be right, but, it still could be somewhere in the middle. What would be in the middle? Probably 250 or so passing yards. And, if he had 50 to 75 or so on the ground himself. That 300 or so all-purpose yards for Felipe. But what would be a great game for him? 300 plus passing yards, and I don't know if he can get 100 on the ground again. I mean, maybe so, but that would be a great game. That would be off the charts. So, what he can't afford to do is go down there and have 3 interceptions. That would be the worst case scenario. That's what he has to afford. That's what he can't afford. This team cannot win if you have short field turnovers, be it fumble or interceptions, and you give the ball to Florida more than once.
It's a really good piece from Scotty Bordelon and Whole Hog, and what he does is he analyzes the game on Sunday and kind of picks out some bits and pieces that you think are very valuable. One of the things he's noticed, last 2 games Felipe's participated in, has not thrown an interceptable ball. That means the passes that he thrown, there has not been one that could have been picked off, which is important because he threw 2 against Georgia. He had 1 against Ole Miss in that football game, and he is really toned it. Guys, he's got 3 interceptions on the year. All we talked about in the offseason, cannon arm, but can he tone down the turnovers? He's had a fumble or 2. We know about that. It's more than a fumble or 2, but Arkansas's managed to get on the top of both of them, or a couple of them. But he's turned down the turnovers, guys. That is important going into a hostile environment in Gainesville, in the swamp, where there's going to be a lot of asked him. And the reason I say that Arkansas is not going to win this game unless he plays extremely well is because when you look on the other side and Kyle Trask and you say, well, Ty, they stopped Matt Corral and stuff. Florida's a much better football team than Ole Miss. Now, the offenses are comparable, but Kyle Trask is the better quarterback when you compare him and Matt Corral. Now, the Kyle Pitts question mark is alluring to me because, based on the hit I took, there's no way he can play on Saturday, right? Based on the hit he took, based on the concussion he has, whether Florida's whether they're willing to talk on it or not. There's no way that dude plays on Saturday.
It's hard to grade the level of a concussion based on watching the video, okay? So whether or not he can play, I don't know that you can watch the play and say, well, that's a grade 3 or that's a grade 2 or can he play? I don't know how we could have an opinion on that. Was it a hard, nasty hit? Absolutely.
And they're just common sense, though, sometimes. Can't you look at someone?
There's a lot of hard, nasty hits in football we look at, and we wonder how the hell do they even get up? And they do. And they trudge on. So, there's just a lot of things that happen that don't make sense in football. But I get what you're saying. It was a nasty-looking play. But to say there's no way he's going to play, I think we may be made fools of by making something that declarative.
So do you think he's going to play?
I would be guessing either way. Here's my guess. What does Florida think they need him in order to win? Do they think Arkansas is a good enough team that, I don't know if we can win without him? And my guess is they don't believe they need him to win the football game. That, to me, is where the answer lies. What does Florida think they need in order to win the football game? Because for Florida, it's not about beating Arkansas. It's about winning the East, and it's about getting to the college football playoff, and it's about competing for a national title. Yes, beating Arkansas is part of that equation. Do you need Pitts in order to beat Arkansas? Well, I think you may find out in the midst of the battle you do, but I think going into the battle, I think they're arrogant enough, they're cocky enough, they're confident enough to think the answer is no, we don't need him.
And that's why I think that Arkansas is going to be taken lightly by the Florida Gators. And, you look at some of the other guys they have, Traven Grimes, Kadarius Toney. I heard Orange talking about this earlier this week, and this was my initial thought when I've watched him play. He has Percy Harvin-like capabilities where in a moment's notice, he's just gone, so you better be able to contain him the best you can. I'm under the impression, if you want to call this a declarative statement, if you don't want to call it that, that's fine. I don't think Pitts is going to play. Now, I've had a concussion before. I know what it's like to have one of those, and I know there's different severities of a concussion. There's mild concussions, and then there's other. And I know football players get roughed up a little bit, but the hit that I saw on Saturday coming across the middle where he gets his head taken off, and toughness is not a factor. It's safety. The safety issue is a factor, and I don't anticipate he's playing. But like Tommy said, Florida is probably under the impression that they don't need Kyle Pitts. Well, I got news for you. This Arkansas defense has been pretty good against wide receivers this year. So they're going to need Kyle Pitts on Saturday. They could still probably win without him, but that's going to be a missing piece that you wonder what the Florida offense is going to look like otherwise. Coming up, Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports joins us next.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir!
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkgrove Furniture at 405 Fort Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at frankgrovefurniture.com. Brinkgrove Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Atmosphere befitting a destination? You go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Franks gonna throw it. Tight end. Kern. Touchdown, Arkansas. Blake Kern with his first touchdown reception as a Razorback.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Gonna get into your SEC update coming up here on the Morning Rush, as well as talk with Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Get a little preview of what's happening Saturday night in Gainesville.
Hey, are you into real estate investments? You got multifamily properties, you own a couple dozen duplexes, or maybe you just own half a dozen duplexes. Whatever it is, you're tired of the day-to-day management, all the decisions that have to be made, or your phone ringing right in the middle of the big game, or your kid's dance recital, or whatever it may be. Call our friends at Trinity Multifamily. They have years of property management experience, and they can take that load off of you. If you're tired of that always being a hassle for you, let Trinity Multifamily take care of that hassle. They can provide every service you need, from qualifying the tenants to taking care of all the paperwork, such as the leases. They do the credit checks. They do all the due diligence. They can provide you with monthly financial reports, pictures of your property, an online portal where you can see what's going on with your properties at any moment. And, they can make it just easy for you. They can give you your life back a little bit, give you your phone back where it's not ringing at always the worst possible moment. Call Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817, or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
All right, let's go and get into your SEC update.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Got another SEC game that has been postponed this weekend. The Georgia at Missouri game will now not happen this weekend. Now only 3 games remaining this weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to see which fans gravitate towards. I would guess. So Vanderbilt and Kentucky are the 11 o'clock game, and I think that's on the SEC Network. And then the night games are going to be Arkansas, Florida, 6 p.m. on ESPN, and then South Carolina and Ole Miss, 6:30 on the SEC Network. Unless you're a Gamecock or Rebels fan, you're going to be watching that Arkansas-Florida game.
And I think nationally there's not a lot of top 25 action. So what is it, Wisconsin and Michigan?
There's not a single top 25 game.
So no top 25 games. So, nationally, it's been a long time since you say you can make a case that the game Arkansas is in is as big a game as there is nationally. And Arkansas is obviously an unranked team. You're playing a top 10 team, Florida number 6 in the country. There'll be a lot of eyes nationally on this. The golf will be over. I'll tell you who this pans out for. You know who this weekend really worked out for is the Masters. It really worked out for CBS. College football's loss became Augusta National and CBS's gain this weekend because just the television competition just dissolved over the weekend. So a lot of eyes will default to golf this weekend.
And a lot of people in the South who would be watching SEC football over the course of the day, they're not going to be doing that because their teams aren't playing. So they're going to gravitate towards, because again, there's that open 2:30 slot And then when does the Masters start? About 7:30, 8 o'clock on Saturday?
Right, but I don't know what the television coverage begins later on in the morning.
Okay.
Right.
So it goes till 5, and they were going to play the Alabama-LSU game at 5.
Say the coverage, you'll have College Game Day that's there at, 8 a.m. our time, so 9 a.m. our time.
And that's all that's doing, like you're saying, is giving, even though it's talking football, it's still giving coverage. Hey, you should watch the Masters. A bunch of SEC games are canceled today.
We also need to remember what is the biggest sporting event going on in our state Saturday. It's the opening of modern gun season. So there will still be a lot of people that are nowhere near a television. Now, they'll have their phone, they'll have their earbuds, they'll be listening to what's going on in their ears, but they can go to hitthatline.com, keep up to date. They'll be, with technology now. When I used to have time to deer hunt, you could listen on the radio. You had a little radio that maybe you kept up just enough to not make enough noise to scare anything away. But, that's the way it will be now. You'll be listening on hitthatline.com. You'll be watching online from your tree stand, hoping not to fall asleep, hoping not to miss something as it comes by. But, the biggest sporting event in our state is this Saturday when deer season opens.
To prove you how big of a deal, I mean, I love deer hunting, don't get me wrong, and it's been 3 or 4 years just with college and jobs and everything else. I missed the Auburn-Alabama kick six because I was on a deer stand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that our state's culture, and we don't get it because the three of us are working. We're in a job in an industry that that just doesn't allow us the time because of college football season to really partake in deer hunting the way we would.
And if you do have time, we sleep.
Yeah, the one day we'd have is Sundays, but there will be hundreds of thousands of people enjoying deer season this weekend. So, it's a good thing the Arkansas game's at 6 this weekend because there will be guys that make their way back home that aren't going to camp, that just go for the day. And then there'll be a lot of guys that sleep and spend the weekend out there, spend a week out there that will be listening right here on the radio or listening online at hitthatline.com, ESPN995.com to find the game. That's how it's going to be this weekend.
That's what my brother's doing this weekend, so he's going to come in early. And
it's kind of, I don't say a rite of passage, but it's a tradition. It's a family tradition, whatever it is in your group. So, hey, I don't want to be tone deaf to what's going on in our state and not just Arkansas. Now, Oklahoma opens next weekend. Texas, I think, has opened up this week. Bow hunting's been going on for a while, but across the South, this part of November as the rut begins and, you're hoping for colder weather to help that along, deer hunting will be a bigger thing across the South this time of year.
Couple tidbits from the SEC teleconference yesterday. Ross Bjork told Dennis Dodd that the December 19th as a playing date has now been confirmed by the athletic directors. Ed Ogeron said that Miles Brennan, their quarterback, is likely out for the year unless something miraculous happens. So they're going to probably look to TJ Finley, who, ironically, his comparison is Felipe Franks. That's what 24/7 had him compared to as. And the last tidbit, since the Tigers aren't playing Bama this weekend, Ed Ogeron has said they have already moved on to Arkansas. Third consecutive week where Arkansas's opponent will have 2 weeks to prepare for the Razorbacks. So something to keep an eye on when the LSU Tigers take on the Arkansas Razorbacks next weekend.
And I guess for LSU, the last time they played was against Auburn on Halloween, right? So they haven't played since then, so they've had a couple of weeks off. So.
A little bit, yeah. And they just, when the Alabama game got canceled, that's when they could start game planning for the Razorbacks. All right, let's bring in Tom Murphy here of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Tom, I think one of the pivotal parts of this football game come Saturday night is, can Kyle Pitts play or not? Would you say that's the biggest key to the game prior to it actually occurring, is his availability for Saturday night?
Well, I don't know if I'd put that big of a premium on it. It's huge because he's definitely a tough cover. But also on the teams that have open dates before facing Arkansas, don't forget Florida didn't. So it will be 3 out of 4 opponents who had an open date.
It's bad math on my part.
I almost fell into that same trap yesterday, but I'm like, well, wait a second. Yeah, Florida did play last week. So, but no, Pitts is fantastic. And by the way, that shot he took from Cine last week was one of the most vicious I've seen in a few years. Really, really tough hit. And I didn't think it was necessarily, I saw somebody write dirty hit. It just wasn't a legal hit, but it was a really hard hit. And I don't know what level of concussion he got, but I'm sure he didn't practice very much this week. They've got great tight ends behind him. They've got weapons all over the field. Sam Pittman has really bragged all week on just how many athletes they have. Kadarius Toney, the backup tight ends. Of course, Trask is a guy who's now in the Heisman conversation, and a really good offensive line. They've basically been in shootouts or scored a ton of points in every game this season from the Ole Miss game on. And, Georgia could not hang with them last week in the second quarter. And in the A&M game, the Aggies got a very fortunate tip ball. I think it hit a Florida DB first, then went right into the hands of a receiver for a touchdown, which I thought was a pivotal play in that game. And otherwise, the Gators would be unbeaten right now.
Tom, I look at this game on Saturday night with 4 SEC games being canceled this weekend. There's no top 25 matchups, primetime on ESPN. This is going to be a weekend where a lot of people that have heard about the Razorbacks, them coming back, this will be their first time they'll actually watch the Hogs live in primetime. How important is that for so many eyes to be on the Razorbacks this weekend and for this just to be a huge chance to prove the college football world that they might be back?
Yeah, that's a great point. There probably will be a lot more people watching it because of the cancellation or the postponements. And the Razorbacks just need to do what they've been doing. It's going to be tough. I mean, they had great game plans that drew widespread acclaim to slow down Mississippi State, basically setting the template against those guys, and then against Ole Miss too. But in this game, they've got guys. I mean, I think Trask has the patience, and Dan Mullen has the skills to come up with ways if Arkansas is going to do the drop 8, play the zone, to try to hurt them in the run game or to do the check downs. I mean, guarding their running backs, Davis and that crew, out of the backfield, they killed Georgia with the wheel route last week. And I'm not sure who Georgia had on the backs. I'm not sure if it was a safety who had come down or nickel or a linebacker. But Arkansas's linebackers have got to be ready to run, and react to all kind of stuff. I mean, they're going to have to read plays. And Florida has all these different concepts that make you commit to something, and then they adjust in play. So they're going to be a really difficult cover for the Razorbacks, and the game's in the swamp. So I think Arkansas's offense is really going to have to come to play, and might even have to score into the 30s. Well, probably will to have a chance to win the game.
And I think 31's the most historically you've ever scored against the Gators. So, history's not on your side with scoring a lot of points against Florida because you haven't done it before. So when you look at this, we all know the situation with Sam Pittman. He's out, not going to make the trip. He's working virtually this week. We all like the words of comfort that everything's going to be fine. You got Barry Odom. He's got head coaching experience. He's familiar with Dan Mullen. This is a different situation than when you made the transition from Petrino to John L. We know that, but we all use kind of similar words of, it's going to be fine. The same players, the coaches will pick up where they left off, and it was a disaster at that point. I don't think this week's going to be a disaster, but I think we're glossing over that, when your head coach is gone, it's a problem. And, Tom, is there a chance for this not to go as well as people are hoping? Because you are playing the number 6 team in the country in their place. They win 85% of the time there the last 30 years. Arkansas's only beaten Florida one time since joining the SEC. This idea that everything's just going to be fine without Sam Pittman may not be as easy as some people would like to believe it's going to be.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but that they're a 17-point or 17.5-point underdog going in. Mm-hmm. I mean, so we're talking about almost a 3-touchdown underdog. I think from the belief standpoint and the understanding the schemes they're going to play and all that, they'll be okay. But they're up against a team who's got this great talent I was mentioning,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a hard deal to contain those guys. And then the added factor is that Odom comes down to the field, and I don't have any issues with how he'll call the game, how he'll use timeouts, the communication, but he's used to seeing the formations developing from the press box. Now, Michael Shearer is basically an acolyte of his. I mean, he is a protege and I think people think very highly of Michael Shearer, but he's been sitting next to Barry in the press box. Now he's got to see it and relay that to Barry Odom, and it does add a different wrinkle to the situation. And I think Dan Mullen, I think his legacy is going to end up being a really strong one in the SEC. He's kind of a lower key guy maybe than Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, but he's proven he can win at Mississippi State. He develops quarterbacks. They're going to be tough to slow down. And you can say, yeah, the Razorbacks are going to believe in what they're doing and stay together and whatever. But if they fall behind 17-0 as they did at Auburn, this is a different way to try to scale back into this game than it was at Auburn.
So how do you mentally prepare Felipe Franks for coming back to Gainesville? To me, that's a very delicate, tight wire you're walking here. You don't want to get him too high. You want to get him just right for game time. But it's a tough challenge here for Kendall Briles to make sure his quarterback is in the perfect spot at game time.
Right, I agree, and I do think that he's got the mental makeup that he can kind of separate. I'm excited to be back here. I've got all my mom just came down from Tallahassee and all my family, he's got a bunch of friends on the other roster. I think he can separate that from executing the game plan. But think back to when he was a Gator and the times you saw him, and I've done that a lot in the past week. Some of the games he's been involved in. And he was younger and less mature as a Gator, and I think the criticism he got when they had a 4-7 season. It was his freshman year, and he played some, but they were falling apart under Jim McElwain. Now the next year they had a great year, 10-3, but when you're not down there, you don't see that some of the things that happened. He got booed. In several instances, he did a shushing motion to the crowd in the South Carolina game that they had to come back and win, and the fans kind of turned on him. I've talked to some writers in Florida at what all he went through, and there was a pretty good bit of negativity. So when he was injured and Kyle Trask got the job, the fans were eagerly ready to move on, and so. I got a sense from Felipe and talking to his mom that he's in a really, really good place at Arkansas, and has matured to the point he can deal with going down there. Now his team's a big underdog. There's going to be a decent amount of pressure for them to score on a lot of their possessions in this game to have a chance to win. But I think Felipe's up to the task.
Tom Murphy with us, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. Tom, I brought the booing up earlier. I don't know how Felipe is seemed to matured since his time at Florida. It's taken a very business-like approach this college football season, whether it's wearing suits in post-game press conferences, talking about the task at hand. But, Tom, you can't tell me that this game doesn't mean more to him based on what happened at Florida, him losing his job after the injury, the booing that occurred. How is that going to play into the psyche, you think, on Saturday night?
Right. Well, it's certainly going to be in his head. And at the end of this season, if they were to beat Florida and someone would ask him which win was the most meaningful for you, it would certainly be Florida. But I also think he probably understands, they're going to have to execute at a very high level to have a chance. And a lot of that falls on his shoulders. I don't think he can take the number of sacks that he's been taking. He might have to throw some incompletions or put the ball up in a little bit more jeopardy than he has in recent games. But just his 14-3 touchdown to interception rate right now shows you that he's matured on the field. He makes better decisions because he was 9-8 as a freshman and 24-6 as a sophomore. So I think he's mentally in a good place to go down there and deal with that. I just don't think he needs to try to do too much. He's got other weapons, and I think he'll be fully prepared to do that with Kendall Briles' guidance and his teammates' support.
Yeah. All right, we'll let you go on this one. How concerned are you, or what's your level of concern when doing roll call tomorrow, particularly with the Razorbacks and any more fallout? We know Sam Pittman, obviously with the COVID situation, I think many of us feel it's hard to believe it begins and ends with just the head coach. How concerned are you? The university's been very tight-lipped about this stuff with the players. Are you expecting additional Arkansas personnel to be missing from this trip to Gainesville?
Yeah, and there could be some auxiliary personnel he's around that we wouldn't necessarily know about. Yeah, but in terms of players, I think there's a pretty good likelihood that the contact tracing might have caught some guys up. I've asked for the numbers, and they're just not going to provide them this week. So we are going to have to do some head counts and roster comparisons when we get down there. But, it would be a stretch to think that not one player – I mean, he said not one player had tested positive yesterday morning on the SEC teleconference. But that doesn't mean that someone didn't get caught up in the tracing. And that's what – I mean, when you listen to the coaches yesterday on the call, that is really what has caught up a lot. Like Jimbo Fisher said, 2 players tested positive, but they got a bunch of dudes in quarantine. And so the same thing could be the case with the Razorbacks.
Absolutely.
Tom, we appreciate it as always, man. Enjoy the game, and we will talk on Monday, okay?
Yeah, everyone have a great weekend. I'll be ready to break it down with you guys on Monday.
Safe travels to Gainesville.
Thank you.
All right. Good always to hear from Tom Murphy again. Every Monday we get a recap. Every Thursday we get a preview, and he is one of the best. It is a recruiting Thursday here on the Morning Rush. It's brought to you by Breeden RV in Van Buren. We're going to have Richard Davenport, Tom's cohort there at Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, joining us at 8:05. And we wouldn't be able to do this without Breeden RV. And despite everything going on right now, they're having their last sale of the year. They're getting in new travel trailers, new RVs, and they are getting marked down as soon as they hit the lot. These are brands you know and that you trust: Forest River, Dutchman, Thor & Coachman, and so many more. The great thing about Breeden RV is you get free maintenance for life with every single purchase. Plus, if you want to hibernate your camper for the winter, just bring it in. Winterization special starting at just $99. That's the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
I'm really concerned about this team showing up tomorrow missing a few linemen or missing some people that we're counting on being a strategic central part of the game plan because of contact tracing or additional positive tests. And boy, if you have additional positive tests, then the web of contact tracing expands out even further. Obviously, if you got to the point you didn't have 53, you're not playing the game. That shoe would drop, I guess, maybe tomorrow when, hey, we don't have enough to get on the plane. And that would not be a surprise when you've seen what else has gone on around this league this year and this week in particular. So you just wonder, you've heard Coach talk about going on these walks with Barry. I guess they stay 6 feet apart on these walks, or is that just, hey, wink, wink, we have? I don't know, because you would wonder about that getting caught up in contact tracing and Barry Odom being put in quarantine. So interesting how all of this has unfolded this week, and the head coach being still the only one that has not only tested once but confirmed with the second test positive for COVID.
I don't get contact tracing. If you keep testing negative, what's the point of holding someone out just because they may have been in contact with someone? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you test 3 or 4 times a week and you come up negative every time, but just because of contact tracing, doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
Yeah, we'll continue the conversation. Richard Davenport coming up in just a while as well. Hey, want to invite you out to Gaston's White River Resort. They're hosting their Thanksgiving buffet. No better way to spend Thanksgiving than at Gaston's. You can kick back and relax, maybe stay the weekend, but if you just want to head over, watch some football, and don't worry about cleaning up any of the mess, hey, head to Gaston's. They're going to have their great buffet once again. Roasted turkey, New York strip, ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, all the fixings you can imagine, but it's reservation only this year. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. So call to make the reservations for you and your family this year at Gaston's for the Thanksgiving buffet, their holiday tradition that's unlike any other. It's at Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry hybrid, Highlander hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling. Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deerwoods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Franks pumps once. He wanted to go deep. Everybody was covered. Now he's going to heave it downfield. He's got Burks at the 20, complete. Traylon inside the 10. Burks is at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Traylon Burks.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
We've talked a lot of college football this morning, and it is a big-time matchup between the Florida Gators and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Saturday night, 6 p.m. in the Swamp. But another big thing going on this week, in fact, it started. The Masters on CBS and ESPN. First coverage, first couple days on ESPN, then it'll switch over to CBS. We'll talk about that a little bit. What makes that tournament so alluring? What makes it where it's have to watch TV for the casual golf fans or the golf fans that or the fans that really don't pay attention to golf? What about the Masters to you do you enjoy so much? That's coming up here on the Morning Rush.
We're brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith. I was by NWA Gold and Silver yesterday, and they had a customer in with some gold coins, and they were evaluating them to put a value on them because this particular customer needed to sell, and with gold prices nearing $1,900 an ounce, he wanted that cash in his palm right then. So they were able to do that. They were looking through this portfolio, and this customer had it all laid out, had it in the plastic protection. This guy knew what he was doing, knew who to go to when it was time to cash in his gold coins. He had silver coins and gold coins. So they were busy yesterday with that. So if you've got gold or silver coins in a gun safe, if you've got them in your safety deposit box, bring them to NWA Gold and Silver. They were even reminding me again, as we've told you, your gold or silver jewelry, items that you're not going to wear anymore, items that may get misplaced over time. You're getting ready to go through a move. Why risk it? Jewelry that's out of style anymore. Bring it in, and hey, let them deal with figuring out what to do next with it, because they're going to melt it down and sell it off. Hey, why not put cash in your hand? 1130 North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith near Central Mall. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and Fort Smith, the people that pay the most.
So we know the great music. When you hear this pop on, you know exactly what it is. And not only this music, the glorious vocals of Jim Nance. Is Vern still part of it or no?
I believe he's still in the 16th tower.
He's still in the 16th.
He does two golf events a year, this and the PGA.
Yeah, so Vern's still a part of it. You've got Scott Van Pelt for ESPN, who does a great job over there. It's the commentators. It's the legends we know. Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and then, of course, the one that so many of you gravitate towards, Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger won it last year. He won his first major for the first time in how many years? Is it 8? Is that way too much?
No, it was longer than that, yeah. Since 2008, I believe it was.
Okay. So he finally wins, and here Nance is called the return to glory, and he just lets it breathe, which, again, is so hard as a broadcaster in the midst of an incredible moment to let something breathe. But this tournament is so cool. It is just so awesome in a variety of different ways. We mentioned the Champions Dinner earlier this week, Butler Cabin. There's just such a force that pulls you in to even, like, I don't watch golf except the Ryder Cup, U.S. Open, British Open, or the Open, and then this. And that's about it. This is one of the few tournaments that I get up for and enjoy every single year as a guy that sucks at golf but enjoys to watch it sparingly from time to time.
You don't have to be good at golf. You don't even have to play golf to enjoy the Masters. I think you laid out a lot of the reasons why the Masters draws so many people in. It's the traditions. The late Arnold Palmer, 5-time champion, or majors champion. You go through all of the reasons why the tradition. The starters this morning, where you had Arnold for so many years. You got Jack and Gary still hitting the honorary shots to start the tournament. Someday it will be Tiger and Phil, and they were joking about that earlier. But there will come a day, 20 years from now or whenever it will be, that's who will hit those honorary shots to start it. For years we saw Hogan and Snead and those guys that were the legends that you only read about. You never got to see play, but They were there to start the tournament. You mentioned Butler Cabin, the Champions Dinner. It's the mystique. It's the exclusiveness. It's the once a year. For years, you only saw the back nine and a few holes of the back nine. Now they've expanded coverage and there's more access. For years, you couldn't get to even be a part of it. You know, you were lucky if you got able to have someone bring you a shirt or a hat or something back because ticket access was not available. I've been fortunate enough to get to go to a practice round on 3 occasions because now they've had a ticket lottery and you're able to buy tickets and go. So, you know, people have been able to see the course and they've been more open about sharing the experience of Augusta National with more golf fans. They have the chip drive and putt competition, and so I think they've opened themselves up where 30 years ago it was very cloak and dagger. It was very closed door. It was very more exclusive. Don't get me wrong, it's still exclusive, but that's part of the mystique of Augusta National as well. And this one major that hosts itself in the same spot, traditionally at the same time every year, but this year in November.
My roommate's brother-in-law is Austin Cook, former Razorback, and he has gotten to compete in there in Augusta, and Reese got to tag along with his family and go down there, and there's just nothing like it.
Nope.
And the pimento cheese sandwiches, $2? Beers, $2, everything. The food's good. It's cheap stuff, which you'd be surprised of how much money is flowing around that place, but they keep the concessions down. And then like you're talking about, they call them patrons instead of fans. You can't run anywhere on the course. There's just an elegance, a mystique, as you labeled it, which I think is a great term to describe what this golf course is. We saw, and I was incorrect in saying, I didn't say Dustin Johnson, but it was John Rahm who was the one that hit the hole-in-one on the skip earlier this week.
That's another one of the traditions. They moved to the front of the tee box on 16 during practice rounds and skip it across the water to see who can get it closest to the pin, and Rahm got it up, and it curled around the slope of the 16th green and found its way into the hole. And so, I mean, it is that's another one of the traditions you get to see on Monday and Tuesday at Augusta.
And DeChambeau is the betting favorite heading into, and I say heading in, I think it started right now. I think I did that math right. So
correct.
I think that there's a lot of, but I mean, there's always going to be eyes on Tiger Woods, but we've heard from several different golf people, particularly Michael Collins of ESPN, that Tiger's not played well, hasn't putted well, and if you're going to play and compete in Augusta, your putting has to be on.
It's all about putting and who's going to make the putts 15 feet and in. And that's why DeChambeau is such a betting favorite. He's a guy that makes putts from that 10 to 15-foot range consistently. He's as good as anyone on tour about making putts in that range. And he who can make the putts is who will wear the green jacket on Sunday. So he is a favorite. I like John Rahm. He's one of the best players out there that has not won a major. I would look for him to compete and play well this week. So Tiger's probably not someone that you should pick and put high up there, but there's something about this place that draws out the best in his game. But I don't think he's competed enough, played enough. There's probably still too much rust on his game to think that he could be in true contention on the back nine on Sunday, because that's truly where this event begins.
Can't
That's
wait.
what they always say.
Golf and football. Who would have thunk it? That's this weekend.
And looking forward to it. Going to be a big part of my weekend. Hey, if you're building a home, it can be stressful, whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Changes in plans, subcontractors not showing up. All of these issues can cause homeowners and contractors to be at odds, and oftentimes lawsuits result. If you're a contractor or a homeowner and you find yourself in legal needs of an attorney, call Kevin Hickey and his partners at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey are standing by for your call, 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, or their Northwest Arkansas office at 479-802-6560. Or find their numbers and more about their firm online at artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
Coming up, Richard Davenport of Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at KohlerGreen.com.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If I'm taking time to shop, I want real selection. That's why I shop at Sody's. Sody's has the largest craft and import beer selection in the area. And the Pick 6 is always a favorite. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny to partly cloudy sky today. Our high this afternoon will be right around 65 degrees. A decrease in the clouds tonight. An overnight low mid-30s north, mid-40s south. Friday back to sunshine, upper 50s to lower 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Catch Sam Pittman live every Wednesday night at 7, only on ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
If you really love to compete, I don't think it really matters. I think Coach Pittman's team's a great example of that. I mean, to me, they look like a team that's playing in front of a sold-out stadium every night because of their intensity, because of their will to win. They have blinders on to what's going on outside of the football field, and certainly we have to have the same mentality both home and road.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Richard Davenport coming up here in about 5 or so minutes. Want to get into some hog stuff as your hog update is coming up shortly. It is a recruiting Thursday, and it's brought to you by Breeden RV in Van Buren. Last sale of the year going on right now. A bunch of different brands that you know, you trust. Coachman, Forest River, Thor, and so many more. Your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life at Breeden RV. Let's say you want to stash away your RV or trailer for the winter. You can do that. Winterization specials starting at just $99. They're going to work on all makes, all models here at Breeden RV. So stop on by the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren. Come on by and see Ransom and his crew because they are your friends in the RV business. We'll start with what Eric Musselman had to say about Sam Pittman as far as how he's approaching these games, and his teams have reflected that.
If you really love to compete, I don't think it really matters. I think Coach Pittman's team's a great example of that. I mean, to me, they look like a team that's playing in front of a sold-out stadium every night because of their intensity, because of their will to win. They have blinders on to what's going on outside of the football field, and certainly we have to have the same mentality both home and road.
Red-White game starts tonight, 7 o'clock on the SEC Network Plus channel, not the SEC Network, but you'll have to do it through your computer or through your app. So I know there is a lot of people excited for Arkansas basketball, but I thought that was a cool connection between Muss and Pittman, talking about what his team have to do, what Sam Pittman's team is doing so far in 2020.
Yeah, you got to find other ways to motivate. I mean, if you're a team or a player or a coach that feeds off of and draws off the crowd and the atmosphere, and that takes you to that magical level. So what are you going to do this year? You got to find another way to get that juice, and maybe it's something that gets in your head from the other team motivating you. Maybe they call you out a little bit. Something else. I don't know what it is, but you're going to have to find some other way to draw on that and get to that magic level.
Couple tidbits that came out of the SEC teleconference yesterday. December 19th has been added as a playing date officially. This was let known by Ross Bjork, who's the athletic director at Texas A&M. Also, Sam Pittman shared that Barry Odom is not going to be up in the box. We assumed that, but I think it was first announced yesterday that he is coming down from the box, and I'm curious to see what happens as far as the coaching talking points between him and who did Tom say it was?
Michael Scher.
Scher.
Who's been up in the box with Barry Odom throughout the year, one of his proteges, the one that's not on the coaching staff but has been a part of the game day stuff with Barry Odom. That's who Tom was relaying in the interview, is going to kind of be the eye in the sky this week defensively and letting Barry know what he's seen formation-wise on both sides, defensively for Arkansas and the offense with Florida.
Signing day, early signing period happened a little bit yesterday. Arkansas was able to sign a Cole Moeen, AK is what Musk calls him, and then Chance Moore out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Both guys are highly recruited. AK is the number one power forward JUCO-wise according to 24/7 Sports, and then Chance is a top 100 kid. His family loves Fayetteville, loves the Razorback community, and he is ecstatic to get up there. Oh, and by the way, we'll switch it up. Speaking of recruiting, John Daly Jr. has signed with the Arkansas Razorbacks, so we have to play this. This was just inevitable, was it not? We'll talk to Richard in just one sec. I mean, this is probably the easiest. I don't know who the golf coach is at the University of Arkansas.
Brad McMakin.
But this is probably the easiest coaching job, or the easiest recruiting job he's ever had to go through, right?
Yeah.
I ain't slowing down.
I don't want to talk over John here.
There's rules I love to break and bend, mistakes I've made again and again. But I tell you this, my friends, I'm still around. I hit it hard, man, so far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man, till it's gone, man.
He is talented in everything he does, isn't he?
Yes. That's probably his most notable song for John. But, yeah, it was pretty easy to figure out where John Daly Jr. was going to play golf.
Yeah,
so
really cool to see that picture of John and his son signing yesterday. Yeah. And let's bring in Richard Davenport as it is a recruiting Thursday. Richard, Tommy and I were joking. Is that the easiest pitch ever if you're Brad McMakin? Hey, you want to come play golf at the University of Arkansas, John Daly Jr.?
Yeah, that's kind of like a no-brainer. You know, if he didn't, he'd not be sleeping on the couch or sleeping in the garage or something, huh?
Yeah. Can you imagine if John Jr. had told his dad he wanted to play at Texas or LSU? Yeah, he'd have been cut out of the will or something. You know.
Disowned.
Yeah, that could have got nasty.
Yeah. So that wasn't going to fly. So there was no doubt about where he was going to go. So.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
It was really cool to see that. Well, Richard, there, recruiting news-wise, Tommy and I have been discussing today, when you look at this football game on Saturday night, 4 SEC games canceled this weekend. You're in primetime. You're on ESPN. You're paying a top 5 opponent, top 5 in the coaches poll. I think they're 6th in the AP. I think that's going to bring a lot of eyes to the television screen that might not have necessarily watched Arkansas football this year. How important is it for them to show out on Saturday night? Not necessarily win, but show out for just high school recruits who maybe are watching Arkansas for the first time this weekend, Richard?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. A lot of kids may be probably would be watching their team or something like that, that some of the teams that they're considering and maybe not considering Arkansas, and they see the Hogs play well and like what they see. I mean, especially underclassmen, 22 class, 23 class. This is an opportunity to really showcase your program. And if you do well, play well, and somehow come out with a win, that would be obviously huge. You know, whenever something like that happens, you come up with a big win. It just makes conversations for the coaches when they talk to kids the next week so much easier. It gives them some talking points and gives them some positivity. And kids like a winner like everybody else.
Yeah. And, you know, you just look at Florida. We were talking about the history of this series, and Arkansas has struggled. They only won twice ever, one of those going back to the early 80s in that Bluebonnet Bowl in Houston. Arkansas has only won once since joining the SEC against Florida. We were looking at this history in this series. The 10 times you've played, Florida's been ranked 9 of those, and like 3 of the 10 times they've been ranked number 1 in the country. another time number 2 in the country. Every time you play Florida, they're a great team, and again, another top 10 team. It's just been filled with that because Florida recruits well. They're always good, Richard.
Yeah, when Arkansas first joined the SEC, I mean, Florida was rolling, and Spurrier and his crew was putting a hurting on Arkansas. You knew when Arkansas played Florida, it wasn't going to be very pretty, and now just for Arkansas to be able to be competitive and go into a game against Florida, a top 10 program, and have the thoughts of possibly pulling it out. I mean, that's how refreshing is that, especially after the last few years.
Yeah, you just look at you played them number 1 when they were 96, 97, and 09. 95 title game, they were ranked number 2 in the country. So the only time Arkansas's beat them since joining the SEC was the last time in Fayetteville in 2016. So that's been a tough track there. So what's it going to take? Is it a bunch of turnovers? This storm's not going to be a part of it. Felipe Frank's going back. He's got to have a razor-sharp game. What's going to happen in your mind for Arkansas to pull what would be a very surprising upset and be obviously a signature win for Sam Pittman's ball club?
Yeah, I mean Trask. I mean, if they had another quarterback, any quarterback other than Trask, I mean, I would think that the odds would obviously go up. But man, that guy's just playing the lights out. If you could somehow come up with you got to win the turnover margin on Saturday. There's just no doubt about it. And Arkansas's been able to do that very well this season. But and you got to keep yours to a minimum, absolute minimum. I'd say 0. And that's one thing that Arkansas has done. Also, 3 interceptions from Franks. They've lost, I think, 3 or 4 fumbles. You want to keep that trend going, and then play as well as you possibly can, and just don't turn the ball over and hope you can get some from them.
Richard Davenport with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Richard, let's shift the conversation to basketball. You signed 2 guys yesterday, AK and Chance Moore. When you look at just what Eric Musselman has done so far in the recruiting classes this past year, getting 4 of the top 5 kids in state. It's already got Joseph Pinion committed this year. Arkansas is kind of like just a bustering oil field when it comes to basketball talent within this state. How much basketball talent is there in this state for years to come that Eric Musselman has to work with inside the state of Arkansas?
Well, we've already talked about the 22 class, and the 23 class looks pretty good, but the 24 class also looks promising too. You got Dallas Thomas from Little Rock Parkview, who Scotty Thurman thinks will be a national recruit. He's a 6'7" wing kid who's very, very skilled. And then N.R. Boateng, who's already got an offer at Little Rock Central, who looks like a college basketball player right now from a physical standpoint. He's about 6'5", about 195, and just chiseled, even though he really hasn't been lifting weights until just recently. And there's some other 24 guys to keep an eye on, but it just looks like for the next few years and probably and beyond, Coach Musselman's going to be able to focus on the state and dip into other states occasionally, but try to keep these in-state guys in state, and the program should flourish.
Richard, when you look at the 4 freshmen this year, you got a chance to watch those guys at the high school ranks, and I think Moses Moody's a deadlock guy that he's going to start game number 1 and then the final game of their college basketball season. But as a guy that watched these guys at high school, knows their tendencies a little bit, what should we expect from Moody, Robinson, Williams, and Davis this upcoming season?
Well, Moses, and I said this about 5-6 years ago when he was playing AU ball, and he was like a 15-year-old. And after watching him in Vegas, I said he's got the it factor, and he has a very high basketball IQ, knows the game very well, knows when he lets the game to come to him, but at the same time, when he needs to step it up, he can do that. And obviously, he shoots the ball very well. Jalen Williams can go inside out, face the basket. I think that he's got a bright future if he continues to get more aggressive. And I think that the sky's the limit for him because his ability to go, score on all three levels. And then with KK and Devontae, they're classic point guards. With KK, probably a little bit more shooting range than Devontae. Devontae's more of a guy that drives to the basket and gets mid-range type shots. But I think he's working on his shot. But very promising freshman class, and I think you're going to see definitely. You're hearing a lot about Jalen Williams and Moses Moody, and I'm sure KK and Devontae will have their times too.
We've seen some high school basketball begin this week or so around the state. What's your gut feeling tell you, not just about high school, but even college basketball, which we're 2 weeks or so away from it beginning? What's your gut feeling? What's this season going to pan out and look like with the pandemic?
That's a good question. Like what Maumelle, I think they missed 3 consecutive weeks of games on Friday nights because of COVID. So you just don't know. And with obviously kids so close together, I mean, that's up. That's really some of that's up to the coaches of each school. How seriously do they take it? And do they kind of keep the kids separate whenever you can have them separate, say in meetings and other areas like on the bus going to games and stuff like that. I think it's up to the leadership of each school and how seriously they take the COVID protocols and everything. It's going to be interesting because there's going to be some cancellations and heck, the thing is. Contract tracing can, just basically wipe you out if you're basketball.
Well, and we were just talking about the simple numbers with basketball, whether it's Eric Musselman's team or a college team or a high school team. You got 15 or so on the team. 13 scholarship players with Eric Musselman's team, and 2 more players you add to the roster. In football, you got 85 scholarship players. Your roster runs up over 100 players. You got to have 53 to play the game. In basketball, you get 1 positive test, the contact tracing goes from there. At what point are you going to say we have enough players to play the game? Obviously, 5's not enough. Is 7 enough? Is 8 enough? Is 9 enough? Where's the cutoff in basketball that, hey, I'm comfortable going to play this game with 8 players, 7 players? I don't know where you draw that line, but high school coaches, college coaches are going to have to make that decision on, yes, we'll play with 6. Yes, we'll play with 7. Yes, we'll play with 8. I don't know where that number's going to be.
That's a very good point, and that's something that I'm kind of somewhat surprised that hasn't already been addressed from the AAA. But I guess it's up to each individual program, and for them to decide. Because sometimes if you have the right 7. And
depends on who the 7 are.
Exactly.
Is it my starting 5 and my best 2 off the bench, or is it which 7 are they? Or is it my worst 7? Well, I don't want to play.
Exactly. Well, hey, coach, we're struggling here.
Exactly.
I got Billy Bob. It's never shot the basketball in a game, and he's going to be my tallest starter, and he's probably my best, unfortunately. Yeah. So I mean I think you're going to see a lot of games canceled, and it's just going to be a status quo for kind of like football. There's going to be some weeks you have more games than others, and some weeks you don't.
Richard, before we let you go, man, it is National French Dip Day. Do you have a favorite spot to go get a delicious and delectable French dip down there in Central Arkansas?
I'm not a French dip guy. I've had a few, but I'm not a big. I can't remember the last time I've had French dip.
You're not an au jus man.
No, man. Hey, I'm not Ty. This dude, he must eat out all the time. It's amazing, and I've said it so many times. Your list. I may have a top 3, but you always have a top 10. There's no way I could have a top 10 on a lot of the things that you put out.
Yeah. Well, in about 20 years, you'll have a top 10 cardiologist list.
It's going to be rough. Richard, Phil and I are going to eat before the red-white game tonight, and there's just going to be this massive burrito I'm about to get. It's like 2 or 3 pounds. I'll make sure to send you a picture later tonight.
Oh, man. Tommy, talk to him, buddy. I'm trying.
Top 10 places to get a colonoscopy, brought to you by Ty Richardson.
Yeah, so we're going to have to get we're going to have to get one of those on. Richard, we appreciate it as always. You always deliver the goods, both football, basketball, recruiting, and then obviously food as well. Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. We'll see you guys.
Best of the best. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You can always read his stuff. He is Richard Davenport.
Hey, have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about the rate. Once you've closed the loan, you just move on. You make payments, and you don't forget about it. If you're paying 3.5%, 4%, over 4%, you definitely need to call our friends at Arvest Bank and review your current loan. Arvest has competitive rates, and they might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term on your loan, or do both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that they originate, and most of the time, they can beat the rates that you got right now, and they can help you lower that payment and shorten your loan. And they can do it right in the local branch you probably already bank with now that's right in your neighborhood. Call Randy at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for an Arvest loan officer near you. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It is also happy hour day, so I know many of you will be skipping work early and watching the Masters at your favorite local watering hole and taking advantage of happy hour day. Hopefully there are specials across this great state willing to deliver the goods in that department.
Let's hope that we have more of the Masters. Right now they are have play suspended. 6 players are out on the court, maybe a few more than that. Let's see. Just a handful more than that on the course. About 9 players on the course. Not very many, but play has been suspended right now at the Masters. So
that's a bummer. Hopefully it gets back on track as far as that goes. But we'll table the French dip conversation coming up. If you have a favorite place to get a French dip, or what's your favorite happy hour spot, you can send those in 877-377-6963. We are going to get back into football, as we had some good stuff. I want to talk about what Sam Pittman had to say and the confidence in his football team in Barry Odom. He really took himself out. He's not giving himself much credit. He's like, they'll be fine. He just basically, if you want to boil it down to one statement, he just said they will be fine. And I think that was one of the reasons you were excited to have Barry Odom, is because of the head coaching experience he has in this league. 2-2 against the Florida Gators, and hopefully he will be 3-2. He won't be credited the win, obviously, but for semantic stakes, hopefully he will be 3-2 after this weekend. But what did Coach Pittman have to say about Barry Odom? That's coming up as well. It's just some more conversation. What's it going to take to beat the Florida Gators on Saturday night?
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Yes, sir!
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of...
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkra Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to throw a receiver screen to Tyson Morris. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas, and the Razorbacks are right back in it.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
What did Sam Pittman have to say about this football team without him in attendance on Saturday night in Gainesville, Florida? He spoke with the media on the teleconference yesterday, and I think you'll be surprised at his answer, and it's coming up here on the Morning Rush.
It's All-American Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They do a barbecue sandwich, but they do it Joe's style with their pork carnitas meat, and they do it with a side of your choice, and they top it with Chipotle coleslaw. It is an awesome sandwich. $7 today on All-American Thursday. The classic burger with a side is $7. So So you can try that out. Happy hour specials. You said it's happy hour day?
It is happy hour day here on this beautiful Thursday, November the 12th.
Happy hour at Joe's starts at 3. 3 to 6, all bar drinks, $1 off. Street tacos, $2. Voodoo tacos are $2.50 today, plus ballpark nachos for $5. That's some of their happy hour specials. Saturday for the game, $1 tacos. They'll have that because that's their Saturday special. And then half-price apps and taps during the game. How many $1 tacos do you think you could eat?
More than Jenkins. More than Jenkins.
How did I know that was the answer?
I've been told big men slow down in eating contests if it's a time
There's a
thing.
difference between big men and me. We'll just put it like that.
Oh, all right. Well, we may have to settle this at some point.
I've been told they slow down. Now, if
All right.
this was,
I may have to take you boys over there for a game coming up.
Might
It'll
have
be
to do
this
that.
week, but maybe that LSU game will end up at the right time, or well, we know what time it is.
11 a.m.
It's the Missouri game. We don't know. Yeah. Oh, we'll do it at some point.
If I am timed,
Maybe the Missouri game will be at the right time. We can do the $1 tacos.
Why do you think you would dominate me in this event, Jenkins? Just because of my size and stature?
Look at you. Look at me.
Look at this chiseled, athletic figure that can compete in a variety of different sports.
All right.
You've still
athletic.
See, you like to talk out of your ass when it talks to my athlete. You have never watched me play a single sport. Not one time. I have given you credit for you being athletic for your age with reffing because I know the conditioning that goes along with it. But you love
I'm no longer athletic.
to talk out of your ass.
I don't even try to say I'm athletic.
Neither do I, but I know damn well what I'm good at in life, and eating and drinking is two of the things I'm good at.
Amen.
I think that's.
I know when it comes to $1 tacos, I can compete now.
So would this
stay
be
in my lane?
Would this be timed? How would this work?
I think this would. I don't know. We'll have to figure out. I'll have to talk to Wade and see if.
I'll talk to Wade. I'll take care of it.
Oh, you'll talk to Wade.
I'll take care of it.
Well, all right.
He's going to make sure there's no conspiracy going on right now because
you'll talk.
Ty's bought into that whole conspiracy.
Hey, no worries. Ty's going
to
take
care of it.
Don't worry.
I'll talk to him. Trust me, it'll get done if I
why don't
talk
you go
to him.
talk to Joe while you're at it, too?
Joe who?
Joe's Grill and Cantina. You talk to
so
Joe.
You got him all stumbled. He's worried now.
Talk to Wade and Joe.
I'm trying to play the cricket sound, and
Yeah.
you turn the volume down. Oh, my goodness.
I'll talk to Wade. You talk to Joe.
If it is timed, I will have at least a puncher's chance in the competition.
All right.
If it's not timed, I will lose. I'll give that up. He'll just sit there and just continue. But if it's timed, I have at least a puncher's chance.
All right, we're going to do this before the season's out. We're going to go for a game, and because it's Saturdays, we'll do the $1 tacos. We'll do it at halftime or something of a game. And we'll watch the game together. We'll do it at halftime. Y'all have to. Here's the hard part. Then, you can't load up on the appetizers and the chips and the salsa and the diet coke.
Let me explain to you how the human body works. You've got to prepare the body.
You've got to stretch the.
You got to stretch the stomach out. You got to put a little bit of coating in there. I took science class in 9th grade. I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I think the loser should have to do the post-game show.
I'm afraid this conversation, I'm afraid this can of worms I've opened is not going away. So, all right, Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. I don't know who my money's on in this deal here.
That's what the smart money need to go to.
Yeah, you can't declare a winner yet.
That's fair. That's fine.
It's in politics.
B's got his money on you. Listen, I know I'm not the favorite heading into this one, but I think, again, I would have. If it's timed, I have a puncher's chance. That's the best way I can put it. If it's an all-day affair.
So you want the rules to your advantage.
100%. You want to
He can do whatever he wants to the rules. I'll still kick his ass.
Boy, y'all are getting salty with the language around here.
Yeah, stop cursing, Jenkins. Jeez.
You started it.
Well, stop it. Both of you stop it.
I just don't like when people question my athletic ability.
What part of this is athletic?
Exactly. We're eating tacos here. How much athleticism is involved? I mean, come on.
Everything goes into that portion when it comes to competing in something. Everything.
Eating tacos.
Everything
I know what
fall-
I'm good at. He knows what he's good at. He's the athletic one. I'm the eater and drinker.
I drink more beer at the bar than Ty, so I'm more athletic.
Next time you go ref with Mike Van Jr., hopefully he can give some validity to. I played like crap the last game on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll play better at pickup basketball.
More athletic and making excuses.
Yeah.
I like what BE says. FBI has SmackDown winning 91.3% chance. According to FBI,
Shouldn't that be the TPI, the Taco Power Index?
Taco Power Index.
It's gonna be a little high. I don't know if it should be that high. We'll see. Are we doing soft or hard?
Well, the hard shell tacos, beef tacos.
We both like soft better, but we'll do either.
That's not how you do a taco eating contest.
We'll compete nevertheless.
Ty can make any rule he wants. I'll oblige.
Sounds like you're up for whatever.
I'm up for whatever.
All right.
Do that, and then if I lose, I'll tell you what. I'll turn to the Joe's $3 margarita.
Let's do it after. Let's do it for the Missouri game.
Okay.
Because by then we'll have been tired of turkey. We'll be tired of, we'll be back from all of our family. It'd be a good day to do that. We'll be ready to see each other by then.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be ready to see you.
Thank you, Tom.
I don't know about Ty.
I'll somehow, some way make it back here and hopefully put together.
You'll have that gut good and stretched out after all them turkey
that is
sandwiches.
how the human body works.
That is how the anatomy of this and the physiology works.
Something to look forward to outside of Thanksgiving. All right, coming up, we'll get to what Sam Pittman had to say about Barry Odom and his staff next on the Morning Rush.
We're trying to outwork everybody in recruiting.
This is Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Breeden RV, where your adventures begin.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is...
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkgrove Furniture at 405 Fort Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no-credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at frankgrowefurniture.com. Brinkgrove Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there's a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Green RV and Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best ever, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
42-24. Boyd gets the call left side inside the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Rocky Boyd with his second rushing touchdown. And with 36 seconds to go, the Hogs find the end zone again.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
We saw Sam Pittman instill confidence in A.J. Reed last Saturday night against the Vols. Missed a 21-yard chip shot and then came out there and drilled a 48-yard field goal, which really changed the trajectory of what Tennessee wanted to do in the fourth quarter of that football game, down 2 possessions. How much confidence does Sam Pittman have in this team? That's coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, you ready to take the next step in life and in your career because you want to make some real money? How about averaging $2,800 a week? United Welding Institute is accepting new students to shape into high-paid career welders. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great-paying jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and many other walks of life. And you can seize this opportunity right now to take the next step towards a successful and essential career. United Welding Institute, they're in Pottsville. They've been training professional field-tested welders since 2013. So change your life and call 479-968-3390. That's 968-3390, or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com. That's UnitedWeldingInstitute.com, 968-3390.
How much confidence does Sam Pittman have in his staff? I'd say a lot based on his answer yesterday.
You know, it's going to be such an easy transition for us because, you know, Barry's been there. Obviously, they played Florida, so him and Coach Mullen have a relationship. And, you know, they played him 4 years in a row there that Barry was the head coach, so you know, I'm not going to make a big deal out of me not being there. I'm just going to be disappointed that I'm not. But Barry will handle it along with the staff, and the kids will play well, I'm sure.
One of the best characteristics of a good leader is when you're able to delegate responsibilities. Now, in this case, Sam would love to be down there and be on the sidelines as the head coach of his football team. We've heard him several times say this week, you get into coaching, but if you were presented in a situation which he's in, he's hired the staff capable enough to go down and compete against the Florida Gators on Saturday.
Yeah, and, he even mentioned on Monday he's really disappointed. He said, and at that point he didn't know for sure, if I don't get to go, I'm really going to be disappointed I don't get to be there with Felipe on his return. That was one thing that was brought up as the conversation, just being with Felipe Franks on this particular game was disappointing to him. I don't know how. Hopefully by next football season, these kind of thoughts and conversations are no longer something you're even concerned with. That this vaccine that is promising is something that everyone trusts in, believes in, is proven to be safe and real, and that people will be willing to take it because it's proven safe. I mean, that's we're in a different world and back to full stadiums, and life is back to normal. I don't know that we're going to be there by this time next year. I hope we are. I think we all hope we are. If not, do you find ways that if you find yourself where Nick Saban was one negative test away from him missing a game, Sam Pittman's in this spot, Dan Mullen would have been in this spot had their schedule been a little bit different. Do you find a way where your coach can interact during games? Do you change the rules? College basketball chose not to go that route. They voted that down. So if Eric Musselman found himself in this spot, he would not be able to interact with his team. Is this the right way to handle it, or should coaches be able to text, interact, Zoom with the coaches up in the sky in the coaches box? What is the right move on this long term when a coach is in this spot?
When you open up that Pandora's box, is there not, and I'm asking you, I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, is there not more room for cheating to occur when you do that, when you allow communication from an unknown place, an unknown area that you can't necessarily clamp down upon than when you can on the sidelines? I'm asking. I'm not telling. I'm asking you.
I think it opens up the idea that there's things you can see on TV you don't see on the sideline.
Correct.
The sideline is not always the best vantage point. If it was, then they wouldn't have coaches up in the press box to have a different angle and a different vantage point. So, I mean, a coach at home watching there, communicating with coaches in the press box, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? I don't know that I could tell you that. I think the trained eye of a coach is always going to be able to pick up on things. How are you going to know if Sam Pittman or if Nick Saban had been in that spot or any other coach had been in that spot? If a text comes in from an anonymous number to a coach, how are they going to know? How are you going to police that? Hey, you might want to think about this player. You might want to substitute that. How's anybody going to know? If texts are on Barry Odom's phone at halftime, I don't know. So how do you police that communication anyway? So I don't know. Is this something you need to look at? Is this something that needs to evolve, at least for the short term? I don't know the answer to that. I think the people that are involved in these situations need to understand, is it a greater disadvantage for the coach not to be there, or do you open up a Pandora's box? I don't have a feel for that. So
I don't have a great.
I would think the possibility of cheating or gaining some kind of real edge that could turn a game is minimal. But maybe I'm overlooking something.
I don't have a great answer there.
I don't either. I just don't think you got your hands or ability to get on analytics or stuff that could really turn the ball game. I don't know. I just think it's unfortunate, and you're trying to bring equity or fairness to just an unfair situation, and that's not easy to do.
Surely we will not be in this situation come fall of 2021.
Hey, we didn't think in the spring of 2020 we would be in this situation in the fall of 2020, and here we are. So I don't know what to think.
I mean, at a certain point.
In April and May, did we think we'd be here for football season? We didn't think so.
We were unsure at this point.
We were all, we thought, this thing, a few weeks, few months, would be behind us. We were just wrong because we didn't know. It was none of us have been through a pandemic in our lifetime. Nobody. That's why they call it a novel virus. No one knew. So, I don't know what to think. I'm just saying, if you move into another sports cycle beginning with football next year, do you maybe view the ability to coach remotely differently for next year?
All I know is I'm going to be really hacked off is when the Texas Longhorns and company, no Sam Ehlinger because he'll be graduated, but when they come into town, Don Herman, if you don't have a full stadium. I will be very disappointed if you don't have that. And I've told you I've been disappointed. This basketball team is exciting as they are this season. You don't get a full stadium or full arena, full Blood Walton arena with them either. So I think that's and again, that goes back to like, you've seen how much effort, how much hard work these players have put in. And I don't want to downplay the virus, so don't take it as that, but it's disappointing to me that they're not getting the full experience. Jalen Catalan's never seen what a full Razorback Stadium looks like because they sucked last year, and then we've had COVID this year. You've got these freshmen, Hudson Clark. He a redshirt freshman in 2018, 2019. You've got these guys, these young players that have never, ever experienced a full Razorback Stadium because they sucked last year. They sucked the year before.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and then this
deal.
year they haven't experienced that. Even in 2017, they were terrible then too. Went 3-9 that year. So it is a tough. Or did you go 4-8? 3-9 or 4-8? It is 3-9. It's just a tough situation for this football team to having to go through that.
Yeah, I mean, so this weekend, back to this game. I believe if you sat down and you made a list of 1 through 100 most impactful people to miss, if you started with players, coaches, equipment managers, most impactful people that you cannot have not on the plane to go to Florida. I mean, no disrespect to Sam Pittman, but all the heavy lifting from the head coach is probably done well before, kickoff. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way to Sam, but Felipe Franks missing this game, I think, would be a bigger deal than Sam Pittman missing this game. I think Kendall Briles or Barry Odom missing this game would be more impactful to the operation of your game. Now, Sam missing the game is important. It's a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but I just think there's players and there's coaches on this staff if they're not there, could more greatly affect your play calling administration, how you communicate that, the signaling. There's more opportunity for bigger breakdowns than Sam being gone. You might miss a timeout. Yeah, maybe that critical decision might have happened differently. But in the end, you're playing Florida, number 5 or 6 team of the country, depending on which poll you're looking at. Is Sam the difference in winning or losing in this game? I have a hard time coming up with yes on that.
Here's my take on this. When it comes to that point that you just made, I agree wholeheartedly because Barry Odom is on the staff and a former head coach in this conference. Now, Barry Odom,
I think it's easy for the players to have enough confidence in him to lead them.
And that's where I'm going. If Barry Odom or you don't have a head coach who has SEC experience on this in this cast of coaches, you have no shot on Saturday.
If those players got on the plane going, ooh, I don't know about this.
Absolutely. If Barry Odom is not on that staff, you do not have a single shred of chance to go down and beat the Florida Gators. But because of the confidence that Sam Pittman has in him, the players have in him, and you've seen some of these pregame speeches, he's the one that's getting them hyped up. Sam delivers like the rock solid message, and Barry's like the motivator guy in these pregame locker room speeches. If Barry Odom is not a part of this staff, there is no confidence within this locker room that they could go down and win it. But because of Sam not being able to attend, and you have that in your back pocket, that's huge. And to your point, I agree. Listen, it's a huge loss for Arkansas not having Sam Pittman down there. But it's not the same level of Odom, Briles, or Franks. And I think those are the only 3 that I would probably put above Sam in this case. Those are probably the only 3 just doing it off the top of my head. So,
and I don't think the betting lines moved a great deal with the news of Sam Pittman. The betting lines moved when to some degree when Nick Saban.
I think we're still at 17 and a half.
Yeah, so
Florida.
That tells you Vegas is
went up a little bit.
Yeah, so the betting lines haven't and went to 24 as a result of Sam Pittman's not there. Florida's now another touchdown favorite.
Hey, if you want to bet on the Hawks, they're 6-0 so far against the spread, 8-0 since Chad Morris was let go. So maybe you put some money on the Razorbacks this weekend as far as that goes. So we'll see what happens. Been a good show today. It's also a Recruiting Thursday. It's brought to you by Breeden RV, having their last sale of the year at the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren. Right now, when it comes to RVs, travel trailers, they have it all. The brands you know and that you trust, and every new purchase at Breeden RV comes with free maintenance for life. Go see Ransom and his crew at the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business. Clay Henry joins us tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I think, don't hold me to this, but I think Todd Blackledge, ESPN analyst, is going to be joining us as well. So
yeah, Clay's going to be on the road, so he'll be on with us sparingly by phone. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So we'll have him on
something
for a
about a long drive to Gainesville.
Yeah.
Excuses.
For Matt Jenkins, Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. Stay tuned. Big show tomorrow.
Make a hot spring